Good morning, day 134, and I'm coming from you from a little different venue. But we still have the sunrise. Look at this beauty. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Yes. But I have had, crazy week. Not a crazy week. When people say, oh, I'm busy, 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 and we get so prideful about it. I've actually had a week where I've had a little bit of, I've had so many tabs open in my brain. I got behind on sleep, and I haven't actually been awake that long. I'm gonna be real honest. It was like, oh no. So, 100 on day 134, I almost missed my sunrise, but I did get it up in time. And you know what? I'm giving myself grace. I want you to do that too. It's about the intention and about progress and about what's happening on the journey more than it's about being so rigid about, oh no. I did have that moment where I'm like, oh no, no. The point is that we're learning and growing together, and we're still up. I don't have to necessarily be on a walk. I probably will be right back there tomorrow, but I'm giving myself grace for where I am right now and today. And that's what God wants for us too. I know He does. And what I wanted to talk about today was chapter 28. And this whole, it is like allergy season here in Kentucky. Everything's blooming at once. It went from 0 to 100, like just in the last couple of days. So if you hear some of that, that's what you're hearing. So verse 3, chapter 28, a poor person who oppresses the poor is like a pounding rain that destroys the crops. I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. And that one caught my attention because there's an analogy that we use a lot. And I probably talked about this concept, but just in different ways. And our brain, we need repetition, and we need to hear the same message different ways, because every day we're different. Our ears are different. Our hearts are different. Our life experience is different. And we might hear something for the first time that maybe we've heard many times before, but it's just not gotten our attention. We didn't quite get it, but for whatever reason, it just lands on us. So we need to hear things lots of times and in lots of different ways. But crabs in a bucket is a great analogy. And when crabs are in a bucket, now a crab by itself in a bucket can climb out. No problem, can climb out. But when they are in a bucket collectively and one is about to climb out or on its way, the others will pull it down. Did you know that? They're like, oh no, you're not getting out of here, buddy. We're in this together. We're gonna all just suffer. And that's what can actually happen when people are, the Bible uses the word poor here, like poor people oppressing each other. And that does happen. And there are some cultures where it happens more than others. And I can think of like India and some other like caste systems because of their beliefs and how, afterlives and deserving and, all of those things where this could happen quite naturally. But it can happen anywhere. Like when we are not doing well in life and we're kind of surrounded and we're all in the same place, all of our people, our family, our friends, like, yeah, we don't have a lot and we're not doing great, but hey, we've kind of formed our own culture here, and we've learned how to be comfortable and like accept, and this is just the way it is, and maybe we even start to take pride in it. And then when somebody else bucks the system, that crab that tries to climb out of that and do something different, they're all like, no, you're not getting out of here. Who do you think you are? Have you ever experienced that? It's very threatening. They're like, no, you need to stay in this bucket with us. You can't climb out. And rather than like cheering them on and saying, yeah, you go, show us the way, we'll come with you. No, because that would require them to do the same, get out of their comfort zone, leave, break up with each other, like, all kinds of things, and fear, and that animal instincts. That's why it's actually good to use an animal or a critter. We in the coaching world, we often refer to it as the critter brain, because it is very critter-like behavior. It's like, you're not going to leave the pack. You're not going to do this, and we're going to pull you down and keep you down. So that is sort of what this verse kind of reminded me of, and that's a really hard bucket to get out of. Can't you imagine? Like, that's why a lot of people don't make changes in their lives, or they'll start to, but then they'll slide right back, because they're like, well, but I kind of like these other crabs. They're my crabs. I don't like, I do want to get out and I want to go do this other thing. And maybe they're even thinking, oh, and I'll come back and get you. And no, that's not okay with these other crabs. So how you need to stay strong as the one that wants out of the bucket and keep going anyway. Don't allow yourself to be pulled down. And it might take repeated attempts to climb out. You get pulled, because it's very natural when you feel that resistance, that pulling backwards, and whether it's the comfort zone, the people, all of it combined together, you might actually go, oh yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we shouldn't do this. And you let yourself be pulled back. But if you really want that change, when you know that this is going to happen, you can prepare yourself for it, right? You can mentally rehearse it. You can go, nope, when that happens again, when I feel that pulling, I'm just going to keep going. You make a plan. And no matter what, you're like, I've got to see what's outside this bucket. I've got to know what life is like. Even if that means, you all have heard me say this before, because I use it a lot, because I had, when I started my climbing out of that bucket, I had a lot of things that I want, there was a big vision that I've had to break down into steps. It was like, even if it takes me 5 years to do it, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to slowly, I am going to become this different person who behaves this way, believes this way, lives, looks, the whole package. But that's a lot of work. There's a lot of times when I feel the bucket and not that people are intentionally pulling me back. Like, sometimes with the intention of this is not that they really want anything bad for the other person. They just, it's fear-based, and they're not sure that they want to change, and they haven't volunteered to climb out of the bucket. They have kind of accepted where they are. They're okay, or they think they are. And so when you disrupt that whole scenario, it's very threatening to people that love you. This might be people that really love you, and they're saying they support you, but then they're kind of doing some things that aren't so supportive. And that you might really get mixed signals about that and go, wow, oh yeah, they're really concerned about me. Maybe I should listen, and just slide back down. They might, with very good intentions go, are you sure you want to do that? I could really see that this not so good thing could happen from this. And I just really don't want you to suffer. I love you. I want the best for you. Like, it might sound like that, like genuine concern. And it is. But you know what you're being called to. You know what's outside of that bucket, and that you've got to go do it. And then you start to betray yourself if you listen to that and you allow yourself to be pulled back. And that's hard. It's really, really hard to leave, the safety of your people or your comfort zone, your hometown, your church, your work, like whatever it is, and go do something where people, there are some people that love you very much that are not going to be super on board, or going to be maybe a little bit too curious. Like maybe they're supportive and curious, and even that makes you uncomfortable. Just any kind of change in that dynamic. So I think y'all can probably track with what I'm saying. And if, but be the one that gets out of the bucket, because you have the capability. That's one thing that we learned from this analogy. You have it within you. You can do it. You just have to want it. And you have to know that it's completely natural. It's going to happen that people pull you back. And rather than giving into it, or being upset by it, all of those things, understand it for what it is. Love those people anyway. Don't, reassure them. So that way, when they might wake up to it too, and to their potential and their ability to get out of the bucket, you're going to be right there going, see, I told you, you can do it. Come on, it's great out here. And then you can start to change that dynamic and hope. But anybody that is keeping other people stuck because they're stuck and they don't want anybody else growing past them, that's not good. And people that are doing that repeatedly, and allowing relationships to get to that level is not healthy in a community. And by community, I use that term intentionally because a community can be a family, it can be a group of friends, it can literally be a community or a church or a workplace. A collective group of people turns into group think. And we know the power of group think can be used for the most evil things that we've seen on the planet, or some of the most beautiful, amazing things on the planet. So pick how you're going to interact with this dynamic, and how you're going to protect your own mind, and your own life and your own vision and your own potential for good. That's in my coaching program. I use the words for good in it for dual purposes, to be resolved, but also for the greater good, that we're always focused on that. I'll leave you with the sunrise. Yes. All right, go have a great, beautiful Saturday. I think I'm headed off to a track meet soon and a coaching Zoom call, and lots of fun stuff today. So I hope you have a great day, and that you have a blessed day, and that you rise and shine. When we do that together, talk about groupthink. That's that's also very intentional. Why I even title this, and while I'm doing something very vulnerable in sharing like this, because I want to be part of the positive group. I want to pull myself up and you up. Like, let's do this together, not like crabs in a bucket. All right, bye.